So this is what we'll be working on today. The motor for our vent fan. It's been dying a slow death and it has finally died. So we're going to replace that today. It's a little windy today, but should be able to get through this one pretty quickly. I think we'll be fine with the wind. For this fix, we're actually going to be getting up on the roof, or at least on a ladder. So it's a pretty quick solve. It's just removing 2 screws that hold the cover on, and then another 2 screws to get the motor out once we've removed the fan. But figured first, got my little tool bag. We'll go through it and just kind of see what I used, or what I keep handy to get through most jobs. We carry a lot of tools, but this bag is just set up to be able to grab it quick and get through most stuff. So we'll kind of run through what's in it. And starting on the outside, got an 11-in-1 screwdriver, got a mini screwdriver that's also, I forget, 14-in-1 mini. Long adapter with a number 2 square on it for a bunch of RV fittings. This guy's neat especially for ACs. It's a 1/4 and a 5/16 bit driver that just switches. If I can do this one-handed. There we go. So you can switch. It's not going to focus. Switch from one side to the other. Great for ACs and stuff like that. A long Phillips. Just have that handy. And over here, some good quality electrical tape, and then just a magnetic pan for screws and whatever. And then we've got a thermometer for running delta T's on air conditioners. Utility knife, because you always got to cut stuff. And Sharpie for marking stuff. And just a hot circuit tester. Flip this around to the other side. Got a voltage tester. This thing's great. Just walk in the rig, plug it right in, tell you if there's any faults right off the bat. Quick and easy. Show you what the voltage is coming into the rig as well. A tape measure. And then pick this guy up new. This is a 2-in-1 insulated. So Phillips on one side, flathead on the other. But went to the store the other day for something else and had to have it. Pair of needle nose with some wire strippers and cutters, so that comes in handy. And then just a little flashlight. And the only other thing on the outside is a little magnetizer and demagnetizer tool. Alright, now moving inside. Oh, pick this up new too. Voltage divider for using the amp clamp to easily measure amp draw. This one is a 10x, so multiplies it by 10. So for great for testing low amp. Fluke meter. Yeah, so clamp, some extra probes. Always important. Got a few of those laying around. Impact driver. Zip ties. Pair of gloves. Have those laying around too. This guy's awesome. Little screwdriver, electric screwdriver. This guy's great because it's also clutched, so you can set it down low and not have to worry about destroying stuff. 90-degree driver, great for getting into some of the tight spots in rigs. Oh, let's see, this is probably a collection of bits, various bits. Another stubby combo driver, and some other stuff. We own an Airstream, so rivet gun, rivets, and then looks like a couple of loose Wagos floating around the bottom. And that's it for the main bag that does it all. I want to pause right here and apologize for some of the video. Filmed it with a GoPro strapped to my head, and I've tried to remove any of the most vomit-inducing parts, but bear with me. We'll get better at that one as time goes on. So here's a look at the replacement motor kit. Came with new motor. One of the terminals is marked with a little red dot. Mounting plates and some new screws, and then a new wiring harness if it's needed. Got the ladder set up. Let's see how this goes. So first up, I'm just going to take these screws off, get this cover off. There we go. Cover's off. Now I gotta try to pry this guy off gently. Alright, that guy's off. So we got the mini screwdriver. Try not to lose these guys, although I think they did give us some extras. Luckily the awning makes a great shelf. I think I would learn my lesson. Just stay there. Those guys off. Old motor, new motor, and like the instructions said, black onto the red dot. So just ensure the motor spins the right way to vent the exhaust. Otherwise, DC motors will spin either way, depending on how you hook the wires up. So rather than push all that hot, warm shower air back on you, hook it up right so it goes the right direction. Now let's go down and check it and make sure this works. So looks like it may not be the motor, may not be the motor. So we're gonna test some things out. So we just got a DeWalt battery here. This is the old motor, and this is some of the new wiring. So we're just gonna hook this up real quick, just to give it a test before we hop back up on the roof with the multimeter to confirm where the wiring problem is. So there's our motor. Go to negative, and it works. 12 volt stuff works really fast on 20 volt batteries. But old motor still works, so now we'll get up there with the multimeter and see where it's not working. Let's see how much room we have to play with this switch. So much room. So, cut the switch out, we got a bad switch. Okay, so just to clarify what we've done, here's a drawing that lays out the basic components and wiring of the fan assembly. So starting from the left, you've got 12 volt power coming in on the black wire, running into the switch, coming out of the switch to the motor, and then you've also got your ground wire coming off the motor. So our first test confirmed that we did not have power going from the switch to the motor. We knew that because the motor wasn't turning on. We used our multimeter to confirm that. We also unplugged the motor and hooked it up to a battery, and it ran. So we knew the motor wasn't at fault. It was something providing power to the motor. Next step was to figure out how far back that went by working our way upstream. So the next step was to check power on the other side of the switch. This got a little tricky because this switch is hardwired into the fan assembly. So in order to test it, we actually had to cut the switch out so we could check the wiring that was running to the switch. So this last image shows where we cut and then where we were able to test, and we did have power. So process of elimination showed us our switch is bad and that we're going to have to rewire in a new switch to get this assembly up and running. So we'll try to make it to the store and see if we can find a new one. So while we wait for the switch to come in, it's not pretty, but it works. I had some of these extra switches laying around from when we installed our PepWave router onto the 12 volt system. So it's stored away in a cabinet, and I wanted a way to be able to power cycle it or shut it off if I wanted to. So installed some of these switches, and of course had to buy a pack of 5. So had some spares, and well, one of them's doing their job now.